Oh, this is much better than being at the office.
Cheers to an early night off.
She texted me at 6 p.m. saying she'd be home late again. I asked if everything was okay, and she replied with a cold, just work stuff. She stopped using emojis with me months ago, which was the first sign something was off. I tried calling her, but she rejected the call within 2 seconds. I told myself she was probably stressed, but my gut kept twisting like it knew the truth already. Her coworker Ryan kept liking all her photos, even the ones that weren't flattering. I asked her once if something was going on, and she laughed like I had told the funniest joke in the world. I didn't find anything funny. By the time the clock hit 10 p.m., I realized she wasn't coming home anytime soon. That was the night I decided to stop being stupid. The next morning, she acted cheerful, as if she hadn't ignored me for hours. I asked where she had been, and she said the team was revising campaign strategies. I told her I could smell cologne that wasn't mine on her jacket. She froze for half a second before pretending she didn't hear me. My patience snapped like a twig under a truck. I grabbed my keys and decided to find answers myself. She asked where I was going, and I told her I was getting clarity. Her face changed, but she didn't stop me. That told me more than any confession ever could. I went to her office without warning. Ryan wasn't at his desk, and neither was she. Her supervisor said they'd gone out for client lunch. I knew exactly what that meant, and my chest burned like acid. I walked out before I said something I couldn't take back. My best friend Zane told me to stop snooping and start proving. He handed me a small GPS tracker shaped like a keychain. He said to drop it in her purse because truth liked to hide in subtle places. I hated myself for doing it, but I slipped it in that evening. Her eyes never even flickered toward her bag. At midnight, the tracker showed a location nowhere near her office or our home. It pinged at a fancy apartment complex across town. I watched the dot sit there for 2 full hours. I didn't sleep at all, staring at my phone like it was a bomb. At 3 a.m., the dot finally moved toward home. She sneaked into bed as if she thought I'd believe she'd been working late again. I didn't confront her, not yet. I wanted her to confess on her own. But she didn't even look guilty. That made everything worse. The next day she acted like a perfect wife. She cooked breakfast, kissed my cheek, and told me she loved me. Every lie tasted like poison to me. I told her I was taking the day off, and she said that was good for my mental health. Funny, because she was the reason my mental health needed a vacation. When she left for work, I watched the tracker again. She drove straight back to that apartment building. I followed at a distance, feeling like my heart was cracking with each stoplight. When she parked, I stayed in the car and watched. She got out, checking her hair in the window like she was prepping for a date. A man came down to meet her, someone tall with a smug grin. They hugged in a way coworkers never should. He kissed her forehead like he owned her. She didn't pull away, not even a little. I felt something inside me fall apart. I recorded everything from inside my car. Then I took a deep breath and walked toward them. They didn't see me until I was 5 steps away. Her face went pale like I was a ghost. He stepped back quickly, but it was too late. She stuttered my name as if that would fix anything. I asked her if this was the client she'd been working overtime for. The guy tried to talk, but I told him to shut his mouth before I shut it for him. She reached for my arm, but I moved away like she was something radioactive. I asked her how long this had been going on. She said it just happened, the favorite lie of cheaters everywhere. I laughed because crying felt too weak. I told them both that I had all the proof I needed. She begged me to talk privately. I told her privacy died the moment honesty did. I went home, packed her things, and left them neatly on the porch. I sent her a message saying she could pick them up whenever she wanted. She showed up an hour later sobbing like someone had died. Maybe something had our marriage. She tried to explain, but explanations don't rebuild trust. She said the affair meant nothing and I meant everything. I told her that people don't accidentally fall into other men's beds. She said she was confused and stressed and vulnerable. I said I had been loyal, patient, and blind. That was my mistake, and it wouldn't happen again. Her mother called me that evening, begging me to forgive her. I told her forgiveness wasn't the same as reconciliation. Her sister texted saying she'd made a horrible mistake. I told her mistakes don't last months. My phone didn't stop buzzing for hours. Eventually, I turned it off and stared at the ceiling in silence. Silence was kinder than her voice had been. The next day, she left town to stay with her parents. I didn't chase her. I didn't miss her lies. A week later, she sent a long message saying she finally understood what she'd lost. I didn't reply because some losses are permanent. I sent her the divorce papers with a quiet calm I didn't know I had. Her final message said she hoped one day I'd remember the good times. I told her I would, but I wouldn't remember her the same way. Healing isn't forgetting. It's learning. And I learned that trust is a gift, not a guarantee. I learned that loyalty shouldn't be wasted. I learned that heartbreak doesn't kill you, it reshapes you. And I learned that sometimes the best revenge is simply walking away with your dignity.